Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
And welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, episode 23. It is now May, if we make it to May. And I'm Rob.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Chopper.
We are isolating in place, but that doesn't affect us since we're on Skype, so we're still
That's
coming
true.
to you.
We're still isolated, though.
we're only emotionally isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All staying at home, staying in place, saving the world.
Well, except for Pat, you're essential. Brian, are you essential?
I can work remotely, so...
Well, that's good. I am not essential, so I get all the free time I want. And, yeah, so I had a lot of stuff to talk about, but that'll be in the Dropship. Anything else to talk about here in the Jumpship? We have to get through this. Yeah.
Everyone stay home.
That's
practice social distancing.
Pat's PSA. Don't be stupid, yes. And, yeah, it's a weird time, but it doesn't affect us.
Yes.
Until the movies stopped coming out and TV shows stopped getting made and comic books are already not coming out, which kind of sucks. That really was the straw that broke my back. Dan,
I just don't know why aren't they releasing them digitally then?
I think they realize if they release them digitally, they'll kill the secondary market, like literally. So I think they're doing it to be nice.
Okay.
Probably.
That's my theory.
I don't know. I still feel like people will go to the secondary market just because they prefer to. I prefer to have a physical copy in my hand.
I do not. I'm digital.
I hate reading. I really hate reading online. I hate reading on a tablet.
I'm digital all the way, so I'm already there though, so it doesn't affect me any. I buy trades though, so I'm still supporting the secondary market. Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. We're going to go to the Dropship, and we'll talk about what we've been working on, and I have been working on a lot, so I hope you guys have worked on something.
Sure.
Every time. Dropship landing.
And here we are on the Dropship. And what are we working on? I will start with Pat. Pat, what are you working on?
Oh, not a whole lot. I have been doing a lot of 3D printing ever since you roped me back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of 3D printing of some different Battletech models. So, in our experimentation of 3D printing and settings, we started messing around with these trees supports. And so I've been printing up all the different types of Battle Masters and different kind of inner sphere mechs. Not those crappy clan mechs. So there was that, and then I've been messing around still. I haven't gotten around to getting into my Devastator, which is, I think, hopefully I might try and do in this stretch I have off. But I have moved it from the bedroom down to the basement, so that's a big step.
That's a major step for you.
It is a major step for me. Anything other mech-wise, I have not. Still working on the minions to Monster Apocalypse, slowly but surely.
I haven't even touched my Monster Apocalypse guys yet. Yeah,
so I think other than that, other than just the 3D printing of these mechs, I haven't had a whole lot of time.
Like I said, you're essential, so you're not just sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah, it's a hobby, so. But what else has been taking a lot of my time is that one of our 3D printers went down, so I've been trying to fix that.
That has been
replacing a lot of the parts and stuff. So
yeah, that's a hobby in itself, right there.
Yeah.
How about you, Brian? Have you been doing anything?
Well, fun update. I have finished moving.
So now you should have all the time in the world to do stuff.
Oh,
and all the space, too.
Like I said, I am working remotely, which means I still have like a 9 to 5, basically. But I have...
Enough of your singing.
I have, actually, as of today, just started painting my Maison Labs Dead Zone team. And I mentioned that because I'm painting them, continuing with my Gundam theme. I've always kind of pegged them as being the Titans. And so I've got a blue and red color scheme going. It's kind of coming together, just doing the base coat right now. But I'm liking how it looks. It's another one of those where it's like, it's kind of a sharp contrasting color combination. But, once it all kind of comes together, I think it'll look really sharp.
That's cool.
Yeah. And on top of that, those of you may have seen, I posted that, my ExFil.End, model kit has finally arrived.
How does that look?
It looks pretty cool. I won't lie. I popped it open just to take a look at it, and I almost put it together on the spot if I wasn't busy. So odds are...
Is it all color coordinated plastic, or is it one color plastic?
Yep, it looks like it's color coordinated plastic, which is a plus since I don't have, an airbrush or good material or paints for that kind of plastic.
And I'm the only one ridiculous stuff to paint the whole thing.
Right. So, that one, as it is, like one of my only, Mecha model kits that is not stashed in a box in the basement, the odds of that one getting put together are actually kind of high.
You have nothing better to do?
I would love for you to put that together, actually. I would love to see it. It's a good looking model from the box.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I'm really excited to put it together.
Is it a Bandai kit or is it somebody else?
I think it was Happy Smiles or whatever.
That Chinese restaurant?
What the heck was it?
Happy Smiles.
They have the best orange chicken there.
Let me see. I'm going to see if I can open it up real quick. Because it was HLJ ExFil.End. But yeah, so pretty excited for Good Smile Company. Motoroid.
Cool. Well, hopefully it's as easy to put together as a Bandai kit. They have it down pretty well, so hopefully it doesn't give you too much trouble once you start.
Yeah, it's interesting because it does come with a hard plastic cloak for him as well as a cloth one.
Oh, cool! So you can choose. That's neat.
Oh, that's crazy! That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
So I'm pretty excited to put this guy together. I think it'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'll have him for my giant when I play Vanguard.
Is he going to be the right scale, or is he going to be way too big?
He's going to be really close, honestly.
Same size as the Mantic Giant?
I think so. I think it's pretty close. Let me see.
Well, that'd be cool.
I can get the dimensions of him real quick.
What scale is it, does it say?
Let's see.
I mean, not that the height of the model really matters. It's will he fit on the giant base?
Yeah, it's a footprint. That's the best thing about, especially Kings of War. I have a giant dragon that I use as a general, but he fits on the right size base, but he's just huge. So he looks awesome on the table, but he still fits within the rules. He
probably could. His feet come together decently, so he can probably squeeze onto the base.
Well, then you can put a giant. It doesn't really make a difference. That's all he is.
Yeah.
And for Vanguard, that giant rolls anyways. You're just attacking it, right? Or trying to take it over? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's basically in the
it's got a mind of its own
scenario. Yeah, it has a mind of its own and just kind of stomps around the battlefield. But if you play Kings of War with them, you can actually have them in your force.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. So yeah, I'll be posting my progress on that and my Maison Lab painting as I go.
Nice. Maison Labs. They have Striders in Maison Labs, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
So I've got a fun idea for a Gundam Mark II in the Titans colors. And then the other fun one is the Maison Labs has some of the mutants and zombie looking dudes. One is the Aberration, which is a big hulking guy. And I've got a fun idea for making that a Psycho Gundam.
Oh, nice.
So
Yes, this is for Dead Zone, for those who don't know, the game, Mantic game Dead Zone.
Yeah, it's a blast.
So there you go. I guess it's to me, and I've done a lot, like I said, at C2E2, which is probably the last event that has happened in North America. I got my Furai Seekers. I got all 3 of them. I actually got 4 of them, like I talked about, but I haven't done the 4th one yet. But I've done 3 regular ones, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. I've done all 3 of those, and it was fun. As I went, it was getting, because they're exact same model, so it was, by the 3rd one, I could do that one blind. I could make that kit pretty easily. But those kits are pretty easy anyways, but it was, it was pretty fun. Kits. Yeah, they were fun. And so I did all those, and they look great in front of my Jetfire, my Voyager class Jetfire. They're all standing together, pretty good scale to each other, so. I also, like Pat said, I got a 3D printer, so I've been doing a lot with that, and literally the only reason I got it was so I could print up a giant mech. So I did a 1/60th scale Mad Cat, which is pretty cool. So it's like pretty much big enough for 28 millimeter. So we can use them in other games. You're just insane. And also, Tecco Toys, which is a company that we've been looking at. They were supposed to start a Kickstarter, but because of the pandemic, they got delayed. But they're offering a hazmat model. It's pretty much an action figure that you can print. And its regular size is pretty small. It's not even, I think it's like 3 inches maybe. And, but I just scaled it up they're offering it for free, a 3D print of it. So I scaled it up 300%. So now I have like a 6-inch, hazmat drone. He's pretty cool looking, fully articulated. And that was kind of fun because you can print all the pieces of them. So you can print them up as you go. And that was fun to do. So I've been having a lot of fun with that 3D printer, printing a lot of Battletech, the vehicles they don't have. So that's what I've been doing mostly. And also doing a lot of other things like the Hellraiser Cube and different organizational things for other games.
Yeah, so when the Earth gets invaded by Cenobites, then you know it was Rob who brought the end of days.
Yep.
Thanks, Rob.
I do love my cube. It's cool. Yeah, that's about it. I've been working away on that thing. It's an Ender 3 Pro. A lot of people are having issues with it. I'm on a group on Facebook, and all these people are having this, and I'm like, thank God mine works pretty well.
What's the issue that everyone's having?
Oh, like clogged hot ends and beds being super unlevel and the, things getting stuck or things not sticking to the bed. It's like,
I got clogged, but that printer was a year and a half old already, and I didn't.
Yeah. Well, these people are like, they must just leave it alone because it gets clogged and then fills up the whole hot end with stuff. Did yours fill up that whole way?
I had a small plug. It was a small little disc, but
yeah, this is like looks like the blob is growing out of their hot end.
Oh Jesus, that must be. They must have had it clogged for a long time, man. They need to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you should watch the videos out there. People will tell you got to change those nozzles at least every year.
Yeah. Or also if their Bowden tube's not in all the way or things. Enough of the 3D printer talk, but it's just funny all the people having issues, and I'm so happy mine works great. Even with my crappy my first filament I bought when I bought the 3D printer from the same company was translucent, and it's pretty crappy, but I got some of the Hatchbox stuff Pat suggested and it worked great. So I'm just trying to get rid of my translucent stuff now. So you'll see a lot of on our post, you'll see a lot of translucent items that I've printed. Yeah, that's about it. I think we almost convinced our friend Rick Hall to get one too. We kept bothering him and posting stuff. He was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" We'll see if he actually gets one.
He wants one. He knows it.
He really wants one.
It's just funny that it was the same thing that happened to me. It was our buddy Coach and Pat. They're both yelling at me to get it one night.
Never once did I yell at you.
I almost got a resin printer, but they convinced me it'd be too stinky because I have to have it in my bedroom, so it wouldn't work. So this thing works good. It's loud, so I can't really have it when I'm sleeping, but it works otherwise. And I think that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else happening in the what we're working on. Anything else coming up for you guys?
That covers a lot of it.
I think we discussed what we're even going to think about working on. And we'll be back with ComStar. Once again, we'll have a lot to talk about there.
You got it.
Message from ComStar.
Okay, welcome to ComStar. This is where we talk TV, movies, books, comics, RPGs, video games, whatever else media-wise. Brian, have you been watching anything? Playing anything?
Well, I was watching an anime that, I think I mentioned, last time on the show called, Yukikaze. It's not quite mecha because it falls under the like fighter jet kind of asterisk of that, qualification, but, really fascinating show. It's more of an OVA series, so it's kind of short, but it's basically about, fighter jets, facing off against like an alien species who kind of mimics like fighting techniques and stuff like that. Like it's one of those where they always learn from previous battles and get better and stronger and everything. And then our plucky hero is paired up with an AI system. So it's like part stealth, but like the AI kind of evolves with the pilot in a neat way.
Okay.
As it like determines like, hey, like it starts off the series where it starts like mistargeting people, seemingly, where it's like, hey, this is an alien, you should shoot it.
Seemingly.
Yeah. So it's got some fun little intrigue going on there and a kind of trippy ending. But, yeah, if you like, more of a sci-fi bend to fighter jet combat, definitely check it out. Like it's very visually, cool and, like an Ace Combat kind of game. Let's see. Other things. I've been reading this book called Ancillary Justice, which is another kind of weird, space-faring adventure. My dog's gonna hop down. And, but part of the story takes place from the perspective of basically like ancillaries are basically like lobotomized people that, are controlled by a ship. And so it's like the ship's AI hive mind kind of thing. But we get told the story from the perspective of these individuals. So it'll be like, I am here talking to this person as I'm also outside talking to that person. Really fascinating book. It takes a little bit to get going, but, it's I think it had a Hugo or Nebula award that had originally caught my eye. So, yeah, pretty fascinating stuff. I guess I was on an AI kick lately. Wonder how that happened.
Yeah.
All right. But that kind of covers it. The move obviously took a whole lot of time and energy, but yeah, I think that's kind of where I am right now. I'm going to see about picking up some of those series that have kind of fallen by the wayside. Still need to finish the Gridman show. I've fallen behind on that. But yeah, I'll be getting back into the swing of things now that I'm fully moved in.
Stable again, yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you, Pat?
Not too much, actually. I have finished the Mad Dog series from, oh Christ, I always forget her name, Ashley Chapman, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Those set of books. And I have ordered the third book, but, now with things the way they are, my delivery date is not till June. So I have, without books, so I have, kind of gone over all the different Battletech books that I have, like the House Davion books, the House Steiner books, and House Kurita books.
Like the source books?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
you gave me a whole bunch of stuff in a bag. And
it's right next to you, so then you just grab one?
Yeah, so I got my bookshelf in my office now, because my wife kicked it out of the living room.
She's making the place look presentable.
Well, yeah, it's no longer a nerd home, so sad face. Now
it's a nerd room.
Yeah. So I've been just pulling books off the shelves here and there as I need things to read. As far as watching things, I think in my spare time and downtime looking for things to do, I have rewatched the Char Origins little series that was on YouTube for a while. I enjoy that one quite a bit. I think that's it. That's all I had. I think printing all these Battle Masters made me relook at the House Steiner book again so I can...
Make a Scoutlands?
Yeah.
Oh, those are atlases.
Yeah.
You've also been playing Civ 6 with the expansion. It's got giant stompy robots in it.
Oh, yeah. As far as that's our main front line. Jet bombers and big giant stompy robots. Giant death robots is what they're called in the game.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Yeah, it's only in the expansion, though. So if you get Civ 6, you have to get which one it is, Gathering Storm.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, well, I think if you're going to do that, you must get all of them because it all makes the game, I think, a little bit better.
Fun game.
It's fairly simplistic without the expansions, and it just gets a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's cool. I've also been playing Civ 6, obviously, since I knew so much about it. For me, I did finally finish a long time ago now, just after we recorded. I finished the Gundam Zeta movies. There's 3 of them. Instead of watching the TV show, I watched the movies. And I must say, TV show is so much better because I watched the first movie in the TV show form, and then from there I went for the second and third movies. And man, it really skips over a lot. It just hits the highlights in those movies. Like all of a sudden you're like, what's going on? Oh, I missed a whole section. Yeah. I suggest, not watching the Gundam movies. Watch the TV shows instead, versions. Even though you get them done quicker, it's only an hour and a half, but it tries to squeeze like 13 episodes into an hour and a half or more. So, yeah. They're fun though.
Yeah, the original, movie, Mobile Suit Gundam movies for the original series, I think are really solid, but I've heard that the Zeta movies just don't do the series justice.
No, it just skips. It's just crazy. But it's, you get the gist of it. It's still really good. It was still really fun. But, yeah, I think you get so much more if you watch the actual series. And, speaking of watching the actual series, I decided to watch, Genesis Climber Mospita. I think I discussed that before. I finally finished it. So I watched it, subbed, which is cool. And, yeah, it's quite different from the Robotech. They did cut out a lot, and they obviously had to tie it back into Robotech, although it does tie in a lot anyways. There is things that are very similar to the what's it called? Robotechnology stuff. Like it's very similar anyways, but yeah, I don't think Robotech had as much, swearing and nudity as, Genesis Climber Mospita does. It's just the Japanese just don't care about that. It's so funny. They're like, yeah, we'll show a bunch of girls bathing naked. We don't care. And, yeah. But it was really good. It's a great series, and I suggest it. I think it's, like, as always, it's better than the Robotech version. I think you get more out of it. The story is sort of complete. You could tell they wanted to do another season and never did. Cause at the end, it's kind of a cliffhanger. Like, they win, kind of, but it also leaves a lot up in the air, so.
Yeah.
Cause it has a lot of the characters, like, they're all separated by the end, and you see characters that come back, and you're like, hey, that person's still alive. Very interesting, like the post-apocalypse as we'll talk about later, but, it has the alien invasion, post what happens after the invasion. Would be an interesting series. They never went back to, but yeah, it was fun. Also still reading, Bear Ross's Junctionworld book 1. I think I'm over halfway now, and it's really good. It's all about this kind of, nexus of dimensions where these kind of evil, scummy, aliens run the worlds, and they have, they have the other races kind of fight in gladiatorial pits with giant mechs. And it's a really fun story. So I would suggest to anyone, the Amazon link is there. It's really cheap for Kindle on Amazon. It's like $2 or something like that. I would suggest buying it if you have a Kindle, because it is fun. And then just today, I got my Reichbusters Kickstarter from Mythic Games. It was gigantic. It was like 5 boxes full of stuff.
Oh, jeez.
And in it had big stompy robots. The smallest big stompy robot is, I would say, the size of just a bit bigger than a Strider. And it goes up. There's 3 other sizes. It goes up from there. The biggest one is huge. And it's all PVC, which is crazy. One piece. You don't have to assemble anything. Because it is it's a board game. They're Nazi robots, because it's Nazi experiments. You're a strike team sent in. It's a totally co-op game. You're sent in to destroy the Nazis, and you fight a bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know how many miniatures are in this game, but yeah, the one mech came in a box the same size as the core box. So you can imagine how big that one is. So
wow,
that'll be kind of fun once I get painted up and read the rules and get started playing that. And yeah. Reichbusters. Aesthetic reminds me of Dust a little bit, but a little bit more Cthulhu meets Dust, which is now in Dust, but a lot more like Plague from Dead Zone. Those kind of looking kind of people.
Gotcha.
Is there a game to it?
Yeah, Reichbusters is the game. Yeah, you're not listening again.
I was listening. I thought it was the name of the line of models.
No, Reichbusters is a game. You're fighting Nazis. It's a totally co-op game that you're fighting Nazis. Remember when I said that? No, because you weren't listening, because you don't listen to me, Pat.
I don't. You said Nazis and I tuned out.
No. Other than that, I think that's about it. I tried to print a Battlemaster, and I failed. It halfway, like the head kind of, I don't know what happened anyways, it didn't finish, so I used it and made a damaged marker out of him, blew off his head, and it looks really cool. I'm pretty proud of that one.
It actually looked really good.
I posted that in the Facebook page if you want to go back and check that out. And yeah. Other than that, just been playing with the 3D printer, so you know there's going to be more mechs coming of various sizes and types. And I even started playing with Tinkercad. We'll see if I can make anything in Tinkercad. It's so far, it's kind of basic, but we'll see what I can do. And that's about it. I think that wraps up the Dropship. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
Yeah, with comic books on the break right now. Actually, that was another thing that happened, was the person who's writing the Robotech remix comic from Titan Comics, he got COVID. So he was out for months now.
Oh, jeez.
Everybody's wondering why it was delayed even before they stopped shipping. It's because he was sick, so.
He must have went to a rally. He must have went to a rally.
Maybe.
And, yeah, so he was out. I think he must have got it really early, because it was like February he was sick, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I was hearing too, I posted earlier that, the Evangelion, the last movie that they were working on, has been delayed. Is another one that's been hit by the virus and kind of lockdown situation. So
yeah.
they posted the first 3 Evangelion movies online.
Nice.
Granted, it was Japanese subtitles. So no Japanese dub and no closed captions. So
you have to find a Japanese friend.
Audience, I think
you have to find a Japanese friend to sit next to and translate.
Right.
Or this is a perfect time to learn Japanese.
Also true.
I'm sure you can get one of those online courses.
Konnichiwa.
There you go. We'll be back with the MechBay Hanger. We're going to talk about the apocalypse. So there you go. And we'll be back.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
And we're back. MechBay Hanger. And this week we're going to be talking about the apocalypse. I thought it was appropriate. Last month we did the hobby. This time we'll talk about different settings, about how what ended the world to cause mechs? Because it seems like every anime, every TV show always has something that's caused. There's always been some crisis. It's never just, hey, we're living in a peaceful time. See, there's no mechs in Star Trek. You notice that? That's all I have to say. There should be. That'd be cool.
There should be. It's a sad state of things.
Yeah. Yeah, even the Star Wars has mechs, and that makes sense.
Yep.
Obsessive government, or oppressive government.
That's because you're invading. There's no invading.
Yeah. Yeah, Endless War, that is definitely one of them. That's the one of the apocalypses with Battletech and Gundam, pretty much. It's the constant threat of war going on, always. And I guess it always leads to giant mecha.
Yeah. Well, Gundam is that fascinating one where, like, the story and a lot of times the rationale behind the wars going on are, like, kind of thought through. Like the original UC Gundam, it was basically the space colonies fighting for independence, from the Earth, telling them what to do. Granted, they kind of had the
oppressive Earth.
Nazis join them in their, fight back, but they had like a legitimate plight, which was kind of neat. Granted, some of the other Gundam series, that's a little more stretched as far as the rationale and the logic, but Gundam's always been pretty solid at tackling the reason for the warfare, even though it seems to go on forever.
Yeah, with Battletech, it's more people are just like greedy.
Well, it's more tied into the way our world is.
Yeah, politics.
It's tied into the politics. The houses are, for lack of better terms, the different countries of the world here.
Yeah, nations.
Different nations.
Yeah.
Instead of nations, it's houses. The House Kurita lends itself to very much China-ish, Asian.
Japanese. Kurita's Japanese for sure.
Well, Japanese, but it's Asian.
Actually,
they more into the military Chinese side, but the samurai tendencies or house look.
Yeah, it's Japanese for the house, and then they do have have Scandinavian in Kurita too, which is funny. They do have all different. You can kind of look and see different aspects of all the different areas. Although over the time it's really warped because it's changed a lot. It has a huge history, but
in the beginning,
it
was great.
It was much more clear cut at the beginning for sure. Well, even before the clans came, it got pretty confusing about who was supposed to represent what. But so that's like more of the war. But the other apocalypses, obviously, Japan is kind of obsessed with nuclear warfare, for obvious reasons. Especially all the people who grow up, the original wave of anime grew up just after World War II, so that was pretty fresh in their minds. And you get things. Yep.
I was just going to chime in, like on like Macross and Robotech is definitely one of those ones you can look at specifically as like, their story is all about like apocalyptic events happening and then having to pick yourselves up and rebuild from the rubble. It's inspired, really. Like when you really look at it from that lens.
Yeah, the thing with Robotech is more the alien invasion end because obviously that's the inciting incident. But I do like the fact that it is what happens after it, how you kind of come back from the apocalypse. For sure with Robotech as it goes, even into the other series and Macross as it goes along.
Yeah.
But things like Akira, obviously the very first thing you see in Akira is a nuclear blast destroying Tokyo. Like that's the Akira, that one of the biggest things. But you can name tons of different anime that starts with nuclear warfare. Was it the Mazinger? It's got some nuclear warfare in that too, I think.
Yes, it does.
Obviously Godzilla too. Godzilla was built from the testing on islands or whatever. That's where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
not according to the new Godzillas, though.
No, what's new Godzillas?
The latest ones. He's I guess they were around before the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, they're like the Titans, the Guardians of the Earth.
Yeah,
and then King Ghidorah is the outsider.
And then Godzilla is the nature's equalizer.
So I think that represents the post nuclear age in Japan, where all those people are now out of this. It's the hippie generation that is running the world now.
Well, it's probably more accurate that it's the American interpretation of the Japanese flight.
Oh, that's not from the Japanese ones? That's the American shows?
Yeah, those are the two new the Hollywood Godzilla.
Oh, I thought you meant it was the Japanese ones, the new Japanese ones.
No, it's the Hollywood one.
Oh, yeah, that makes much more sense, yeah.
The new Japanese one, the Shin Godzilla from the aforementioned Evangelion guy, is a fascinating movie. I think I talked about it once before on the show.
Yeah, it's all about politics and stuff, you said?
Yeah, it's like treating it like from, the movie is more for the responders to, like, how do you respond to a monster attack that is...
You run screaming.
Well, that's the average people, yes.
It's like, what do you have to do to, like, approve military conflict in the middle of a major metropolis?
Yeah.
Like, how do you evacuate all these people?
That was an interesting part of the, not very mech related, but, what was it called? It was by, Max Brooks, the zombie one that, eventually got made to the movie, but the movie was nothing like it.
World War Z.
Yeah, the book is really neat. There's one point where they literally have to nuke one of the cities. I can't remember if it was Dallas or Houston, maybe. And
probably Raccoon City.
Yeah. But it's just, a lot more interesting when you have to start nuking your own cities to stop an invading force.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? There's a literal plague in Dead Zone. That's what Dead Zones are, is the planet gets shut down because the plague has spread from these artifacts to humans and created monsters that you have to stop. That's a pretty clear-cut one. And, let's hope we don't get, plague zombies running around.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That would be Ghosts of Mars all over again. Another apocalypse that came to mind, it actually, like, spurred from one of our original ideas for tonight's episode of, like, a viral outbreak in Mecha. I don't know if you guys remember the Final Fantasy movie, The Spirits Within.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like alien ghosts, like, is sucking the souls out of people.
Or even that movie Spectral, too.
Yeah.
Same idea.
It's actually, like, going back to that movie without thinking that it should be like Final Fantasy VII, the movie, or something like that. Like, it actually has a really interesting and fascinating story that it's telling. Yeah,
I loved that movie when it came out. It was great. Mm-hmm. Not to mention at the time, those graphics were amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was one of the few beginning
3D
graphic,
like 3D movies.
Yeah.
It was Squaresoft's animation, like, first animation studio. They've gone on to make all sorts of stuff now. It's weird to think of it as Squaresoft. That really dates it.
Yeah, that's right. Not Square Enix. Yeah.
Squaresoft.
Classic. What else we thinking? Oh, well, we already mentioned Robotech, obviously the alien invasion, which also has dimensional invasion, like in Pacific Rim. And that, once again, Pacific Rim was neat because it did show how people were trying to live in this world where there's an ongoing and, like, almost natural disaster with these kaiju showing up every once in a while, and people trying to keep working and trying to build giant walls and it was the background of that movie I really liked more. Even I do like the rest of it obviously too, but just seeing how people are trying to survive in this world.
Yeah,
that's always the more actually Robotech's like that too. That's what made that special. It wasn't just Mecha fighting aliens. It was also seeing the city and seeing how they're dealing with, every once in a while, it transforming into a giant robot and crushing a bunch of people when the buildings smash together. Like, it was that's what made that show so unique, obviously, in Macross, where it came from.
And because it does make that show, you keep, like you said, with the city inside the ship, we cross-reference the attack on SDF-1. That's a big part of the game, is keeping the city population alive.
Yeah.
So the ship can function.
Yeah, that's a major part of that whole show, is, like, how do you deal with this huge civilian population in the middle of a war zone? And literally stuck there. They can't evacuate. They have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You dropped them like you did in Gundam.
Oh, yeah. Well, even in Gundam, too, the sides, where they always getting blown up, caught in the crosshair. Right in the very first episode of Gundam, the original series. Man, that's pretty amazing, though, when the Zeons just attack that side and trying to get the prototype for the Gundam, and just seeing the death and destruction, and that was cool.
From like 3 mobile suits in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
Because it's like Char, Slender, and I don't know, was it Jeans? I know, like, he walks around with guys that sound like pairs of pants in the first couple episodes. But
Slacks.
Slacks.
But yeah, speaking of Gundam, like, one other interesting one is the Iron-Blooded Orphans one. It's kind of like a post-apocalypse after things have kind of been built back up, because a big part of that show is, like, the Gundam that our main characters get is something that they dig up. Like, it was from a previous war. It's like lost technology in a way.
Which
is kind of a fascinating evolution.
Is it Robot Wars or Robot Jocks? I always mix those two up. It's a similar thing. They just find this giant, massive robot.
It sounds like
That's Robot Wars.
Yeah.
Jocks is the one where they
fight.
Yeah. They fight each other instead of having wars.
Yeah. I can never remember which one's which. But yeah, same idea.
Yeah, because Robot Wars is the one that has the giant scorpion mech.
That's right. Yeah. There's obviously environmental disaster to cause apocalypse, like Transformers, really. Cybertron is run out of Cybertronium, I guess, and they have to evacuate and bring the bad guys with them so that they don't destroy the planet. But
yeah, I guess it depends on which Transformer version you're looking at.
That's G1, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Because there's one version where they actually destroy Cybertron.
Yeah, sometimes it gets destroyed, but I think G1 they just evacuate it still. Because they go back, obviously. It's in the movie. Cybertron that's where Unicron's going to eat. I guess that's a natural disaster. Unicron, Galactus, Unicron. They're pretty much similar.
Galactus, Omnicron.
What else we got? And economic decline. Like every cyberpunk book has ever been. It's always about economic decline. That's just what it's based on.
Yeah.
We're missing. Robots. AI. Brian, you should have brought this one up.
The Grey Goo scenario.
Matrix.
Are you guys familiar with the Grey Goo one?
No, what's that one?
Oh, what's the Grey Goo?
So the Grey Goo is the idea of, like, nanomachines, basically becoming sentient and everything, and just going crazy, replicating and breaking down all matter on the planet into its base components so that they can multiply. It's a legit scenario that's, is it Ray Kurtzman? The guy who's like the singularity is near has talked about, is like, this is a legit concern if we're not smart about how we build these things.
Is that why Elon Musk is against AI? Probably.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But like that type of scenario is one you see in shows like Stargate, I think, had little nanomachines.
Yeah, the replicators.
Yeah, the replicators. Boy, that's a blast from the past. So AI, in terms of like on a major scope, like the Matrix and
Skynet.
Skynet,
Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator, they wanted to kill everyone. At least the Matrix, they had to find a reason to keep the humans around. So, hey, we can use them as batteries. Yeah. Like, they had just the storyline, they had to think of a way to do it.
But that's what it is, though, isn't it? It's the AI itself deems that man is destructive, and in order to stop all the destruction, we have to kill them, or utilize in some other form.
Well, that's the beauty about the Animatrix. Watching that, it really does show why the robots hate us, and they have a good reason to, because people are awful. So
people are pretty awful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always Robot Rebellion, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that's true. Battlestar is the same thing. Yep. That once again, well, even the new series of Picard's kind of about that, right? People using them as in the Borg in general in Star Trek. But the neat one I was thinking of was there's a linguistic virus in the book Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. It's very cool, where it's Sumerian. It's all based on Sumerian language and how you can rewrite the brain with the Sumerian, but somebody starts using it in
the actual Sumerian language. Is that even so? Like, isn't that considered a dead language?
Well, that's the point. If it was around, that's how they could do the things that they could do back then. Supposedly, was that they were able to manipulate their brain using this language, and the language gets put into computers. So all these hackers start using it, but then also they make a virus out of it, and it's very cool. It's a really, really, really intelligent book. Like Neil Stephenson is he's really smart guy, and that book it's like cyberpunk, but it also has such deep thoughts in it. It's a really good book. I would suggest Snow Crash to anyone if you haven't read it.
That has been on my list for a while. I've always heard it paired with like Neuromancer from William Gibson. So
this is definitely in the same world, I would say, as Neuromancer. Same idea, exact same kind of cyberpunk. He does other books that are like Cryptonomicon and stuff that are really, really out there, like really deep, and it's just like, okay, that's a little too far from me. But Snow Crash, I think it was his first book, it's perfect level of deep for me.
So one fun scenario, like with apocalyptic events, that comes to mind is the idea of like sleeping through it and coming out, like waking up on the other side. Like that's a lot of there's a lot of stories centered around that.
Futurama.
Futurama is a great one. Speaking of another, like Idiocracy is another hilarious one. But also thinking about, oh man, I had one and I just blanked. What the heck?
I ruined it for you.
No, it's all good. Curses. Like, I know I've got like one book series that's kind of like the I think it's called the Dauntless series, which is like a guy gets trapped in hypersleep and goes past, gets woken up like centuries later and has found that there's been a whole rebellion that started because of like one last ditch effort crazy thing that he did. There's man.
Wasn't
now I'm blanking on it.
Oh, it's that one, the Endless War or something like that, where it's all about time dilation.
Yeah.
And,
shoot. Yeah.
So,
I've got that book on my
I believe it's being made into a movie. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that comes to mind was Gunbuster, the anime.
Oh yeah, you told us about that before. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a lot about space travel at like light speed and the time dilation effect that has, where our main character Noriko is like enlisted kind of as like a late teen, I guess. It's unclear. It's also like original Studio Gainax, so it's super nerdy and they don't care about logic. But like a big part of it is that with all the, like, she's sent to the front lines in this war against invading bugs, And by the time she gets back, like even on just one mission out and back, like years have gone by, and all of her friends from high school are much older and having families and stuff, and she's just like, I'm still kind of like a teenager. And at the very end of it, not to spoil too much, but there's a huge time jump. And there's a big question of like, did they succeed? They've been gone for thousands of years, maybe millions. It's like, did their mission succeed? It's a fun series from that perspective. It's got other problems, obviously. But that was always one aspect of that, and Diebuster, its kind of sequel series, that I thought was the most compelling and most thought out aspect of it. The other part is like they make a giant gravity bomb out of Jupiter. So they're like, let's use this thing, it'll be great. It's a black hole bomb.
Jesus.
Yeah, if you build a black hole bomb, you gotta use it. Forever War is the one I was trying to remember. That's what's called. Yeah.
Master Chief is kind of like that.
Actually, you know what it is like that? Is Planet of the Apes. You blew it up. Yep. You blew it all up. The guy, he comes back and it's many, I think he ends up he goes through a time portal or something in space. He gets time warped. But, yeah.
They never really addressed it, do they?
No.
How he ends up in the future?
Is it the future, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, they blew it up.
No.
The end of the movie.
Alternative realities that some people have thought he entered another dimension.
Well, two people go there.
Yeah, it happens multiple times. And the like Tim Burton movies, they screwed it all up by having a chimp on, like, that's just weird. But when he sees the whole point of the first movie is that he sees the
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, this is our world. We screwed it up. That was the whole point of that movie, was that we screwed our world up, and look at now the apes run everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a message. As it went forward, people lost that message and just were like, hey, apes are cool. Let's have apes. So, yeah, the new Planet of the Apes, I think it could be, I think it is a totally different idea. Well, the new ones, they don't even time travel. They just progresses. The monkeys escape, and
yeah,
it's I guess that is
a long way around.
That is an apocalypse. Monkey apocalypse is always threatening us. No, nobody wants a monkey apocalypse.
We'll definitely need mechs for that, because those apes are fucking strong.
Yeah, or at least the Avatar kind of the size. Like, I guess that's also Strider size from Dead Zone. Just slightly bigger than Powered Armor. Hulkbuster size.
Hulkbuster.
Anything else? Any other apocalypse? I think we covered quite a few different ways to apocalypse.
Yeah, we covered quite a few of them, especially the ones that are a bit more sci-fi mech related.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Or that lead to mechs.
There's always the, terrible regular apocalypse, which nobody wants to talk about. But
it's gonna be alien invasions, how we're gonna get our mechs.
I think it's going to be, how to get mechs? Yeah.
That's how we're going to get our mechs in real life.
Oh, I thought you were talking about apocalypse. Apocalypse in real life is going to be a meteor or an asteroid or something's going to hit us again.
No, it's going to be Yellowstone's going to explode.
That too, but that would only really destroy North America.
No, it would destroy the world. It would just.
Rob, you're on part of North America.
After the nuclear winter kicks in.
Well, yeah, but don't forget, humans are like cockroaches. You can't kill us. As long as you don't blow us up instantly, we'll survive.
But we're not going to get those mechs, though. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Alien invasion is how we're getting our mechs.
Yeah, or Elon Musk just gets bored one day. That's my hope.
Well, what's going to happen is that he's going to finish building the satellite train, which is then going to attract the attention of the invading aliens.
Oh, there you go. And then he'll have to build mechs to fight them?
Yeah, or we'll get technology from them that'll help us build our mechs.
Well, that's what Obsolete is about from Bandai.
I just had the thought of, like, when aliens come to our planet with giant mechs, and then they get killed by diseases. It's just like War of the Worlds.
It is, yeah. we can use the tripods.
They're gonna be able to vaccinate themselves. I don't believe that. If you can build a spaceship game.
What about signs where water kills them?
Well, that's another thing. But I'm sure that before you come to invade a planet, you're going to do your due diligence and realize what can hurt you and what can't hurt you in this world.
Well, those signs aliens really didn't think they're playing through, considering, like, was it 70% of our planet is water?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I've heard a great description of that movie, that it isn't aliens, they're actually demons, and the whole time he's a minister, and she's putting the water around, and it's getting blessed, so it's holy water, it's not regular water. That movie makes much more sense when you don't think it's aliens, because you never see alien spaceships. You only see the aliens themselves. So
you're right. I'm not going to disagree with that, because
it makes no sense as an alien movie. Yeah, it makes no sense as an alien movie. But then the crop circles could be like summoning circles, like that kind of thing. It makes much more sense to be demons.
It's children of the corn, right down the middle of the road, right there.
There you go.
The other apocalypse caused by children.
Children are the apocalypse. That is true. Nothing worse than children.
So we have to wait till the aliens invade before we get our mechs.
Yep. But yeah, I think Nuclear Apocalypse is probably the most famous. You get like Mad Max and Tank Girl and every other. It's always nuclear explosions. So there you go. And I think that covers the apocalypse. Hopefully by next month, we'll not be talking about this at all. It'll be all in our past distant memory, and we'll be discussing how it's nice to
post-apocalypse.
That's right. It'd be nice.
I want to say no.
You're so pessimistic.
Well, I'm going to say no because there are a lot of stupid people out there right now.
There are a lot of stupid people in the world. That's the apocalypse right there. Idiocracy is the true apocalypse. Well, until we figure out next time, we'll jump to the ExFil and get out of here.
Let's ExFil out of here.
This is the ExFil. It used to be Philip, but now it's ExFil. And we're getting out of here. I've been posting on Discord. These guys refuse to go on the Discord. But
I don't refuse to go on the Discord. It's just hard for me to go on the Discord when I'm at work.
There's always Facebook, though.
And I'm just bad at it.
And
I'm on the Facebooks.
I wish more people would post what they're building, but you can't have everything. It
is true. I would definitely love to see everyone's models and paint jobs. Just love to see those things.
And
it's so much fun.
I do like the news that people post. That's always good to keep up on things.
I do enjoy everyone's posts.
Yeah, it's good to. There's a lot of things we miss, so it's good to see that. And
anyone in Battletech, I would love to see your lances and your mechs. Hell, even your stars. Post your stars. I'll even look at those.
But we also must say that Talon Games is right now for a little while are offering free rules and free models. If you contact them, they'll send you a little starter kit. So do that for Cav.
Talon Games. John Walker's a great guy.
Yep.
Makes a good product, makes a good game. Like I said, it's still probably the mech game I play the most.
And the link to that will be in the Facebook group. Also, I like when Brandon Runkle, he always posts his stop motion stuff on YouTube, so check that out. It's always in the Facebook if you want to go check that out. Go subscribe to his stuff. It's very cool. It's really neat to see Gundam models used in stop motion. It is such a good use for them. And he shows how he builds everything, and it's really neat. And that's pretty much it for shoutouts. Anybody else got anything to add before we get out of here for May?
No, I think I'm all set.
No, I think we're good. And,
if you have any new Kickstarters or anything you want to have us check out, please contact us. You can go to Mobile Armor Radio at gmail.com. We're always on Twitter. Contact us, and we'll check out your stuff. We always want to find new stuff. It's kind of what we are.
No strings attached.
No. And until next time, I've been Rob.
I've been Brian.
And I've been Chopper.
What were you going to say before I cut you off?
I just said we're just an open platform, guys. Utilize us.
Use us. Not that way. Okay.
No.
Bye.
No, you can't.
Stay safe, everybody.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.